yeah, this was just close to my heart today. Um, why can't people just have, like, be proud of having the courage to do something? Some of you guys put such pressure on yourselves and you beat yourselves up and you get mad that you don't have it figured it all out. Like, what's the reason you keep getting mad that you don't have it figured out? I'm gonna tell you something that's gonna blow your mind. Let me get this light on real quick. This was gonna go on my other channel, but this is going on my main channel because someone needs to hear this. Um, what makes you think you should have it all figured out already? There we go. What makes you think you should have it figured out already? I don't get it. You just started something, or it's a new thing you've never done before, but yet you think you should have it figured out. And like I say, this is about to blow your mind. Are you ready for this? Do you think that you can know right now what you're going to know in 10 years? Like in 10 years from now, do you think you can know all that stuff right now? It's impossible to know what you're going to know in 10 years from now. And you say, well, Luke, I am going to learn all today. Okay, well, that's perfect. So then 10 years from now, you're not going to learn anything else? And the reason that I ask that question is because when you can understand that there's going to be gaps, there's going to be things you don't know, there's going to be things that you need to learn. Me, myself, I think I know so much. I started reading this book. I know nothing about, I'm realizing about, this is actually says functional training. Got other books here. Marketing. I realize I'm horrible at marketing. But yet I've sold thousands of dollars worth of programs and coaching clients and all this stuff. But I know nothing about it. But yet I beat myself up that I'm not so great at leads, and I'm not so great at this, and I'm not so great at that. Like, what's the thing that you keep beating yourself up over? And what would happen if you didn't beat yourself up over this thing like you do every single day, but instead you started learning a way to change it? And if you can't change it, then you stop worrying about it completely. Like, some of you guys just need to understand this right here. What if this right here was something you could be proud of? What if that was something you could be proud of? Right here. Right here. What if you could just be so proud of this? It says be brave. I know it might be in reverse. It says be brave. What if you could just be proud of being brave? Like, at what point in time did having courage and jumping become this thing that meant nothing? All that mattered was the result we get from jumping. Like, society has made us think that everyone should have it figured out. You guys look at me, well, Luke, he just travels. He makes it look so easy now. Well, I've been traveling. I left home. Whoa, almost knocked my desk over. I've been traveling for 20 years, 19 years. I left home 19 years ago. Like, so don't look at my now and compare my now to your now. Maybe I've just been doing it longer. Or here's the thing. Maybe I have just failed a lot more than you, which I guarantee you I have. Like, I've done the things that people probably wouldn't do. I've went to places where people didn't speak my language. I went to countries and cities and places where I couldn't even say the name until I was there for like 2 or 3 days. In Slovenia, you guys remember when I went to Slovenia and I couldn't say the name of the city? People killed me in the comments for it. But yet didn't know it at the time, but I was brave for just having the courage to go to a place I couldn't even pronounce. So what if you just got proud of yourself for having the courage? Like, just having the courage or the thought to have the courage, to finally start to have the courage to do what you want to do. Like, it literally breaks my heart to see how much you beat yourself up and how little credit you give yourself. And how if someone has failed the way you have, the things you would say to them is nothing like what you say to yourself. Like, it literally breaks my heart. Because some of you have you've done so much amazing things that people, like such amazing things that people who don't even, you don't understand how scared some people are. Some people will go into a same job that they do not like. Every day, they live in a dichotomy, which Picasso says is the worst way to live. So if you don't know what a dichotomy is, a dichotomy is when you do something you hate so you can do something that you love. And living in that cycle. never really finding the pleasure in it. So some people will go into a place that they hate and continuously do it and never ever give themselves the permission to have the courage to take that jump and after what they really want. Most of the time because they're scared to fail. But in my opinion, if you're living a life that you don't want and you know you don't want it and you go to bed dreading it and you wake up not wanting to live it or go into it, you're already failing. What's your definition of failure? What's your definition of insanity? Because you're insanely failing. Like, maybe change your definition of failure. Maybe change your definition of something. But what must people believe? What must, like, for you to just keep doing something you don't like doing, knowing that you were meant for more? If that's the case, what is it that you believe that keeps you going back there? Like, if I could give you one thing, I just listened to my mentor say this, and he said, Dr. Golden, Myron Golden, he's like, wait, it just slipped my mind. It'll come back to me. But what makes people believe that they can just, like, what is it what's missing in the belief? Oh, he said, like, if I could give you all one thing, it would be my beliefs on things. And I look at you all the same. If I could give you like one thing, if I could give you one thing, just one thing, I would give you my belief in taking risks. Like, I would let you know, I would just remind you every day. People who are my friends, people who I talk to, some of you guys in the comments, I see you guys all the time in the comments. I would just remind you how amazing you are. I would remind you that every day, this is the youngest I'm getting to see you on this day. I'm so glad I get to see you on this video because this is the youngest you're ever going to be. And I just want to remind you that little part of you that you just keep telling to shut up or leave you alone because this is just how life is and this is how it's going to be. The little part of you is dying and it's sad and you can feel that. Although you ignore it and distract yourself by doing other things and watching other things and getting motivated just to go back to the same thing, it's not okay. What's the cost of that in the long term? Like, what if you just started to be proud for having the courage? Like, I'm going to leave this job or I'm going to go on this trip. I'm going to ask this person out. What if you realize that that was the thing? One book I highly recommend for you guys, I would put the link in here, but I don't know if that's legal or whatever, but it's a free book. It's called The Flinch. The book will change your life. It's a 45-minute read. You'll read it in 50 minutes. Because some of you guys don't understand. You think it's about having 10 years planned and 100 years planned and all this stuff. It's 4 seconds, really. Not even. You need 4 seconds of courage. I would give you 4 seconds of courage right now to finally push record on that video, to finally write that book, to finally write that blog post. Because when people tell me they're not doing something, I don't know, I don't have it planned out. What you're saying is I don't even have 4 seconds of courage. I don't have 4 seconds of courage just to jump online and say something. It doesn't have to be complicated. I'm sitting here talking to you in my office. I'm using my phone to record this. I have a little mic on. I don't actually need the mic on. I can do it without the mic. That's all it takes. Now, if you believe it takes more, which is actually a pattern, it's a brain pattern, thinking that it takes more. Because here's the thing, if you think it takes more for this, it's always going to take more. It's going to take more cameras, more software, more knowledge, more experience, more friends, more support, more. You'll just be more. It's a very scary illness, the need for more, because you can never have enough of more. You can never have enough of it. So you can never have enough of more, but yet you always are craving more, then you must also believe that what you have right now is not enough. When I guarantee you everything you need is all around you. All the resources that you need are around you. Every book, everything you need is all within reach of you right now. Like the video that can change your life, set you on a different path, is already on YouTube. You've probably already consumed it and you just haven't thought about it. Like what you're watching right now, this could be I have some clients, I'm actually branching out into that, where I have clients that I work with one-on-one, but I have clients where we only meet digitally like this. And I just send them a video like this. If you guys are interested, you can send me an email. And they're paying for this, hundreds of dollars a month for this. But yet something like this I'm giving to you just right now for free. But because you haven't paid for it, you don't value it. And therefore you don't value it, you don't put it into motion and put it into action. Or if I were to charge everyone here, as I'm shifting my audience, because I'm shifting to the audience who I want to attract, instead of trying to become attractive to people who necessarily aren't in my sphere of things. Instead of trying to make myself a chameleon and blend in and fit everyone and make everyone happy and please everyone. Like instead, I needed the courage to just be like, I'm going to be myself, and I know the right people will find me right when they need to. Some of you guys, this is your first video, by the way. My name is Luke. Nice to meet you. It's a whole different way of thinking. And the more you can understand it's your thinking that's holding you back, nothing else. There's nothing else. Nothing. There's literally, I can't even think of one other thing that would hold someone back other than their mind. That's it. Well, Luke, what about people who they really want to become a pro athlete, but they don't have the fitness for it? Then their mind isn't really holding them back. Really? Because they could become a professional in something. You want to be a pro football player, but you are paralyzed from the neck down. Or what about what's stopping your mind from creating some kind of league for people who only can just move their heads like this and do something digitally? It's in your mind. So the more you can understand that you're trapped within the limits and the constraints, you're trapped by what you think, and what you think about what you think creates a little double loop, like a compound emotion. For you guys who don't know, a compound emotion, I talk about it in a lot of my books. Compound emotion is when you are sad, and then you get depressed that you feel sad, and then you get mad that you feel depressed about feeling sad, and you just lock motions. Every time you do it, you strengthen the bond even more. It's harder to get out. So some of the more challenging clients I work with is someone who's just been doing that for years. They beat themselves up, and then they get irritated that they're so tired from beating themselves up, and they just continue the civil war. Meaning the energy from both sides of the civil war that's going on in their mind, both sides of it is being fueled by the same person. So it's like you're funding both sides of this battle. You're funding this side and you're funding this side with your energy. And then you feel drained at the end of the day and you wonder why. It's like, well, I just keep trying to hold myself back from this thing and that's really draining me. Probably. But maybe also because the thing you're holding yourself back from, you're also holding back the horses on one side while making the other ones run forward. So back to what I was starting off is like, when will you start to be proud of being brave? Like when does that start? When does it start? I want the best for you guys. I want the best for you. Like for me, like I'm proud of myself on my YouTube channel. I'm proud to be here right now. Like I'm proud of myself for changing my content, for not just creating and living in places. Literally, if I didn't have courage, I would just live where people liked me. Even though I have a desire, nothing's wrong with that, but even though I have a desire to see what else is out there, to spread my message and to try to inspire people all over the world, that's my bigger goal. But without courage, I would just settle and stay in one place. I would just stay in Bali. I make enough on YouTube that I can live there effortlessly. People like watching that. People love seeing Bali. But yet my soul is trying to tell me to do something else. Bali, if you guys don't know, is a vortex. It shapes you, fixes you, and then it sends you on your way. But it also can keep you in there because it's so comfortable and nice and you feel like you're growing and everything is great. But for me, it was telling me I need to go. That was bravery to do that. Scary too at the same time, especially under the conditions that I had to leave. And if you guys don't know, the person I was with at that time, they were having some very big family issues and they had to get out. They had to get to their family. Because there was a whole bunch of rumors that I got kicked out or that I just left or that I could have stayed. I have a visa. I can live there. But I had to go for something big that wasn't about me. But people still will leave comments like, when are you going to go back? Like I told you guys the other day, someone left me a message saying, Luke, I really can't watch you anymore because of how you lived in Bali. How can you possibly enjoy anywhere else after living in Bali? And I'm like, wow, if I looked at the world like that, I'd be pretty sad. Do I miss Bali? Absolutely. Do I talk to people from Bali every week? Absolutely. Do I still have my place there that I pay for every month? Absolutely. Like, it's a big scale. But sometimes when you feel like you're called for something bigger, it doesn't take more money. It doesn't take more anything. It takes just more courage. Some of the things I told you guys, I've told you guys that I've had some of the best moments of my life when I had the least amount of money. Because it forced me to be the most creative, and it forced me to be the bravest. I had to have courage. Like, there was no other way. I had to think of ways that, well, I don't have the money to do both. So what do I need to do to be able to do both? Who do I know that can help me do both? And I was able to do it. But I want you guys to take away from this video is to have the courage to do something different and to be proud of just having that courage. That's my sincerest hope for you guys on this beautiful, I believe it's a Sunday or Monday when I'm posting this, is that you have the courage and you're proud of yourself for having the courage. Because some of you don't give yourself enough credit. You know that already. That's nothing new. But more importantly, some of you not only don't give yourself the credit, but even when you do, there's like this asterisk of, well, I could have done more. I could have done better. When I want the best for you. So on that note, I hope that this video was able to help you out. If you guys are looking for a little bit more clarity, I always entice people to book a call, send me an email, reach out to me. Probably Instagram is probably the best because I usually am on it like a lot of the day and can send you back messages. But I appreciate you all. I want the best. I know that you guys have the courage deep down, even though it's maybe not feel that way for you. But if you can't trust yourself to have that belief, trust my belief in you. And on that note, I'll speak to you guys all later. I want you guys to enjoy today. Be proud of yourself. Be proud of what you're doing. Be proud of you just here listening and have gotten this far. And actually, if you've gotten this far in the video, I'm going to give away 2 clarity calls. And it's a way to help you kind of get clear on what you want. And if that interests you, send me an email and just say, I was there. That's the subject, meaning you stay due to the end of the video. And on that note, I'll speak to you all later. And in the meantime, everyone always remember to work hard, to be brave, and don't forget to smile. Ciao.